from 5 Dog Farm. Today I'm bringing you a little southern treat in honor of Super Bowl that's being played in Georgia this year. When I was on the internet looking for iconic southern dishes and something that would go with the Super Bowl feel of chips and dips and hors d'oeuvres and all those picky foods that we love so much, I kept bumping into pimento dip. That wasn't something I had even heard of until we ended up in Kentucky. Tried it and loved it, but being from California, guacamole was the way to go. We're still guacamole lovers, but this pimento dip, oh boy, it's delicious. And there's also a Tennessee connection, which I wasn't sure of, but back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, there was a canning company by the name of Moody Dunbar. And they had started to can pimentos. Pimentos originally came from Spain, and in about the 1870s, Georgia farmers decided to start growing them, and I guess they did well. So anyway, this canning company here in Tennessee decided to start canning the peppers, and then they ended up canning the pimento cheese down the road. Quick fact on cream cheese, it actually came out of New York, and people weren't quite sure what to do with it. It kind of found its way into making dips like this pimento cheese. It just didn't catch on, but boy, don't we love our cream cheese now. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and get started and show you. It's a very quick recipe. It's just dump, 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 stir and chill. So when I was looking at the recipe, it called for 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. And I did not feel like scooping and measuring and then dealing with all of that you deal with a creamy product like that. So not being something that you're baking where science matters, what I did was I just sort of took my knife, and there's those little lines on the cream cheese bag, and so what I did was I just sort of marked off the line with my knife and then opened the wrapper, cut along the line, and then when I came out, well, I'll just do this for you now. Here's the line. Here we make a little indent. Cut along that indent, and then what I did was you take that bar that you get and you cut it in half because you only need 3 tablespoons, and each of these is about a tablespoon, so that made it super easy. So I already have the cream cheese over here cut, and so we're going to put in, like I said, it's just dump. We're going to put in the 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. We're going to put in 1/3 of a cup of mayonnaise. And then come our seasonings. There is 1½ teaspoons of dry mustard. There's 1 teaspoon of sugar. There's 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. So just dump that all right in. And then we also want to add 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and 1.5 teaspoons of Tabasco, my favorite. Now, you add grated onion. Let me show you what I did. First I thought, well, if I'm going to grate onion, and it's supposed to be fine, I'm going to use my fine grater. It didn't come out fine. It didn't come out. It just sort of, when I did it this way, really just made a watery mess that doesn't really come off of here, and so I decided no. I took the larger grater and it worked out perfectly. I don't think it needs to be any finer than this. I suppose if you wanted to, you could come back with your knife and you could give it a chop if you felt that was necessary. I don't, so we're gonna put a little bit extra in there. So that's what I did. I used my larger grater to get the fine the fine grated onion. So we're gonna pop those 2 tablespoons, plus a little extra, in here. And then pimentos, juice and all. These are both 8 ounce, so just pop those in there. Don't you love those little jars? I love to keep those little jars for who knows what. Sometimes I send people home with little tastings of things. There we go. And then I'm going to give this a mix. Get that cream cheese. Now the cream cheese needs to be at room temperature. We all know working with butters and cream cheeses and things, it's much easier to cream something in if it's at room temperature. So be sure to take your cream cheese out ahead of time. I've had it happen where I'm working on something and then I was like, oh, I forgot to take the butter out. So I take out my heating mat, you know, like when your back hurts, my heating pad, and I put it on low, and then I'll set whatever I need to have warm up a little bit on a paper plate on my heating mat. And it works. All right, so then what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna do a cup of, I used sharp white cheddar and sharp yellow cheddar. You could use, I think jack cheese would be delicious, like a hot pepper jack would be really good. But whatever you want, 2 cups of cheese. Dump those in. And that seems to sort of bind the whole thing. So once you have everything thoroughly mixed, you'll want to refrigerate this for 8 to 12 hours, at least. And then before you serve it, you want to take it out for half an hour ahead of time to give it a chance to get to room temperature. And my favorite go-to with most dips is tortilla chips. I just like that corn flavor against even a sour cream dip. But heck, I think this would be good on bits of toast or bread or any kind of chip you would like, or maybe just the spoon. But this is just one very simple, quick and easy pimento dip. Some thoughts of options would be horseradish, love horseradish, and diced green chilies might be good in here too. I drain them and put in diced green chilies. I think that would be yummy. So make it your own. Do it the classic way, or add other things, black olives, green chilies, horseradish, whatever you like. We're gonna go ahead and pop this in the fridge and let it chill. And we'll be ready for our Super Bowl. What are you making this year? Let us know on the blog if you're making some kind of delicious appetizer, or if you ended up making the pimento dip. Let us know how it went and if you added any options to it. We'd love to hear about it. Again, this is Nikki D from 5 Dog Farm. Talk to you soon. Well, we're back with the finished product. We've got our pimento cheese all ready. Now, the recipes, I looked up several and put a few together to come up with this. I wanted to say as classic as I could, not really knowing about pimento cheese until we had moved to Kentucky. So I followed the recipe and I really like it. I like the classic. I've seen other stuff added and I'll probably try that in the future. But it's got enough zest in it to give it that flavorful zip that we like, especially when you're having an appetizer, because that really helps when you're having a nice beer or a good soda or a glass of wine. And the thing though was that none of the recipes mentioned when you're doing the pimento, putting the pimento in, whether or not to drain the pimento. So I didn't, and it's a little loose, but I don't hate that consistency.
No, it doesn't break your chips.
Gigi's always thinking, absolutely, it does not break your chips. So if you want a chippable dip, I would say just leave the juices in. I used two of the pimento jars. I may drain one next time, or if I want a thicker just sandwich spread, drain both of them. But now we're gonna give it the test. We're gonna go ahead and put it on some bread here. Stopped at our local Amish store yesterday and picked up some sourdough. I'm certainly looking forward to creating our own sourdough here on the farm. I just want to be in my own kitchen. Gigi has been so polite, loaning me her entire house, and I don't want to start filling it with bottles and jars and jugs and all kinds of things. So sourdough bread will be later in time. I'm gonna cut this one in half. All right, you ready? Let's give this a go. It's awfully festive inside, that's for sure. Oh,
Delicious.
really creamy. And
Very tasty.
the sourdough bread doesn't overpower it because there's so much flavor. Oh boy, am I gonna finish this. There's so much flavor in it. This recipe that I put together has two types of cheddar cheese. I think next time I might opt for the sharp cheddar, and also a jack pepper cheese might be really good in here. Well, since we're here tasting, we can try a couple of my favorite snap crackers. Love these. And some tortilla chips. We are a big tortilla chip family. I even eat my tuna with tortilla chips. Oh,
That's good.
really tasty with the whole grain. Really good. Gigi's right. This thinner does go on better. And then we'll force ourselves to have one of the tortilla chips. Let's see how that works. Again, goes on the chip really nice using the pimento juice in the jar, not draining it. Oh, okay, so it's tasty with that too. Oh, and I spilled, of course. Delicious all the way around. So, for your Super Bowl party, if you want to celebrate the South with a classic dip or spread, please give our pimento cheese spread a try. I hope you like the recipe. If you try it, let us know on the blog or on Facebook how much you liked it. Send a picture. We love to hear from you. So from myself and Gigi, enjoy the game and enjoy the dip. Talk to you soon. Okay. I don't know about a chip or a sandwich.